The story begins when an alarm goes off and robbers run for the exit while Spider-Man chases after them. They shoot spiked bullets at him, but he keeps missing when one of the robbers accidentally hits a crane of boxes that falls on him. Spider-Man then takes out the driver, who is anxiously trying to get the chopper ready and flying. He then moves to dispose the rest of the robbers when his spider senses tingling as two armed robbers were about to shoot him with guns. Spider-Man pulls them together with his web and knocks them out. The big guy throws boxes at Spider-Man, which throws him off the roof, but he web slings back and kicks the guy off the roof. He then uses a web to save him before he fell to his death. One of the robbers manages to escape with the chopper, while another was shooting at Spider-Man. Spider-Man scales the wall and web slings to the helicopter, taking out the robber who was escaping, and pulling up the falling chopper by creating a web to pull its weight. Later, guards show up with the robbers restrained in a net. Spider-Man later visits Tombstone, who brings him one of the robbers' masks, suggesting he was behind the attempted robbery. He claims that no amount of money will make him turn a blind eye to his schemes. He then leaves, but not before warning Tombstone that he's coming for him. After Spider-Man leaves, Tombstone wonders what to do when Venom shows up, suggesting he will handle Spider-Man. Bothered with strangers entering his office, Tombstone cracks a joke about locking up his windows. When Venom insists on taking the job, Tombstone suggests he must prove himself first, which is to destroy Spider-Man. Venom expected as much from Tombstone's answer, but claims he will have fun with Spider-Man first before he kills him. The next day, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, arrives at the hospital to check on Aunt May, who has recently had a heart attack. He claims he hates seeing her hooked up to machines and fears she might have been scared when he was not there. He is later reminded of Uncle Ben's last words about having great power coming with great responsibility, but wonders if his responsibility should be to the people who rely on him. Peter shows up at school and confronts Flash Thompson to thank him for the reality check when Flash urges him not to tell anyone about it. Peter's friends later check up on him and his aunt. Peter uses this chance to apologize to everyone how he acted recently. When Gwen Stacy explained that he must have been stressed, and given the situation, Liz Allen thought Peter could use some angst break, and suggested he held the giant balloon float for the Thanksgiving Day parade when Peter refused and explained that the hospital was discharging Aunt May from the hospital. Gwen wonders if he plans to return to the hospital so she can accompany him, and Peter claims Aunt May would be thrilled to see her. When the bell rang, the others go to class, and Mary Jane Watson confronts Peter. She admits that she recently went out on a date with Eddie Brock, and explains that Brock only asked her out because he thought she and Peter were a thing. He wanted to hurt Peter and didn't mind using her to do it. Peter admits that although they had issues then, he could not believe Brock would try to hurt him. Mary Jane advises him to be careful, believing Brock doesn't think of him as a brother anymore. Later, Peter called Brock and was about to leave him a message when he answers. Brock suggested they hang out after school, but Peter refuses, claiming that he must be with Aunt May when she gets discharged. When Peter hangs up the phone, Brock claims that they will see each other soon enough, suggesting that Brock already knows Peter is Spider-Man. Peter and Gwen show up at the hospital, where Dr. Bromwell explains everything is going so well that Aunt May can be discharged by tomorrow to enjoy Thanksgiving with her family. When Aunt May is excited to prepare her special Thanksgiving turkey dinner, Peter steps up and claims he got dinner covered, suggesting that it is easy preparing one. Back at home, Peter prepares a Thanksgiving dinner while going through the stuff in the kitchen. What seemed easy at first glance turns out to be quite tricky, as Peter soon realizes when he burns it all and wonders if Romita delivers turkey and fixings pizza. Peter gets ready to return to the hospital to pick up Aunt May, who is being discharged, when he bumps into the desk and finds the gene cleanser he hid. He claims it helped Dr. Connors when he turned into the lizard, so he has been saving it, hoping it would help with his spider problem. Although he gets to save everyone, he wonders if that's why he keeps Spider-Man, or if he just likes the thrill of being a superhero. Out of nowhere, he gets pulled outside with a black web while still without his mask. Suddenly, he hears a voice saying that he doesn't need to put the mask on, as Venom already knows his secret. while dishing out a punch at him. Spider-Man is shocked to find the symbiote, claiming that he has already destroyed it. Venom explains that placing it in a freezer doesn't count as being destroyed, and claims its mission is destroying him for rejecting it. He explains that he will poison Peter Parker and Spider-Man, hence Venom. Spider-Man catches him off guard and traps him in a web, but Venom breaks free and pulls Spider-Man with its web to get a clean punch at him. Spider-Man struggles to beat Venom in a brawl as the symbiote knows Peter's every move. Venom restrains his body with its black web when he hits Spider-Man to the floor. Venom claims destroying him in this state would be easy, but he'd rather destroy him piece by piece. After all, he does know Spider-Man's identity and would go to show that he also knows who he cares about. Venom then walks away while Spider-Man is unable to do anything about it. Dr. Bromwell checks up on Aunt May, who is scheduled to be discharged, when he notices a beautiful bouquet with a note saying, "Guess who?" to which Aunt May claims to have come from Peter. Venom crawls up to her room and through a window when Spider-Man shows up and pulls him aside. Spider-Man urges him to stay away from her. He struggles to get a punch in, as Venom is always a step ahead of Spider-Man. Venom then shoots Spider-Man with a black web at his head while he slowly crawls back to Aunt May's room. Spider-Man catches up and pulls him down, but Venom breaks free and throws him to the wall. Venom gives up on Aunt May and decides to go after who Peter truly loves, which he claims he knows. When he blurts out the word brother, Spider-Man quickly realizes that Eddie Brock is the man behind Venom. When Spider-Man regains his balance from falling, Venom is already gone. Spider-Man then wonders who Eddie thinks he loves, when he suddenly thinks of Mary Jane. Mary Jane shows up for the Thanksgiving Day parade when Flash comes up from behind and starts a conversation with her. Seeing Mary Jane with Flash, Spider-Man decides to keep his distance and watch over her when Venom does show up. He relies on his spider sense to warn him if Venom tries anything. While Flash tries to woo Mary Jane, she looks for Gwen when she finds her with Brock and worries over her. Brock then walks away with Gwen, so Spider-Man follows them when he finds Gwen's trumpet on the floor. He later finds her restrained and dangling on one of the floats when Venom shows up and kicks him in the face. Venom sarcastically remarks that his spider sense did not warn him of his attack. Spider-Man assumes that since he spent some time with the symbiote, his spider sense doesn't consider Venom a threat. He tries to reason with Venom, but he claims he isn't being controlled as they both share the same desire: to destroy Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Spider-Man jumps off the building trying to run away from Venom, but his webs catch him and he gets pulled back up, even rooting up the lamppost to which Spider-Man tries hard to cling to. Spider-Man claims that Brock has always liked Gwen and asked him to let him save her. As Venom's web slowly detaches from the float to where Gwen is stuck, Spider-Man rushes to her side. When Venom comes out of the building and stops him, Spider-Man tries to reason with Brock, who has his hands on him, trying to choke him out. Brock claims they were never brothers. Although their parents died together, Peter still had his aunt and uncle while he had no one. When Spider-Man realizes that words are not enough, he kicks Venom away while trying to get back to the parade to save Gwen, while Venom chases after him. Spider-Man can't seem to close the distance as Venom is not far behind and stops him every time he gets close. Spider-Man is furious and demands he shut up while shooting a web at his mouth. Venom ridicules Spider-Man for always cracking jokes at his opponents, but can't take it when they joke about him. As Spider-Man slings towards the floats, Venom pulls him back with his web. Spider-Man taunts Venom into attacking him, but he quickly jumps out of the way when Venom lunges at him. Venom gets blown away when he accidentally tears a hole in the float. Spider-Man uses this chance to catch Gwen as the float slowly descends when Venom's web finally breaks up. Venom kicks Spider-Man which makes him lose his grip on Gwen, but was saved by Mary Jane and the others waiting to catch her. When Gwen's safe, Spider-Man can finally focus on his fight with Venom. Venom overpowers Spider-Man in front of everyone, throwing him to the roof and through a water tank. Spider-Man is on his knees, accepting defeat, begging the symbiote to take him back. Brock tries to reason with it, explaining that he's a better host, but the symbiote still chooses Spider-Man. As the symbiote leaves Brock, he gets knocked unconscious and transfers into Spider-Man. In his subconscious state, the symbiote realized Peter never intended to take him back. The symbiote tries to force its way into Peter's mind when a wall forms around him, revealing Peter's family and friends ready to protect him. The symbiote exited Spider-Man's body and tries to crawl back to Brock, but Spider-Man catches it, using a piece of the float, and flew off somewhere no one would find it. Spider-Man comes to a construction site, and when everyone's distracted, he slips the symbiote into quick-drying cement and disappears. Peter later returns home and finds Aunt May is back in her room thanks to Dr. Bromwell who drove her. He worries if she has gone through the mess he left in the kitchen when she claims he does not need to worry about dinner when the doorbell rings. Peter checks it out and finds Gwen and his father with food, who decide to spend Thanksgiving with them. While enjoying a bite of Thanksgiving pie, Peter asks Aunt May how she feels when she claims she is okay and would not miss it for the world. Gwen's father claims he's thankful to Spider-Man for saving his daughter, although grateful for his family, friends, and their health. Aunt May worries that the hospital bill would wipe out the advance she got from the publishing company. When Peter asks what she meant, Aunt May explains that she was publishing a cookbook, and reconsiders publishing another one that is heart-friendly, given her last health scare. Later that evening, Peter cleans up the kitchen when he's reminded of how he let people down. He later grabs the gene cleanser vial and throws it out, explaining that Spider-Man is not a disease that needs to be cured, but rather his destiny. Peter then thanks Gwen for helping with dinner and bids her a good night. As Gwen walks away, she turns around and gives Peter a kiss, when Peter is reminded of what Venom said about who he truly loves the most. The end. Thank you for watching. Please check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. We'll see you next time.